Hello, welcome to my second YouTube video. Me and my cat Indigo, we will be sharing with you some gift knit pattern ideas that you could make for your friends and family in a couple of days. Or some of these would take maximum a week, and that's mainly the scarves because they're longer projects, but everything else you can make in a day or two. And I have some examples of ones I've made and that I'm gifting this year as well, so you can see it in a physical form. There's going to be headwear like hats and headbands, neckwear, socks and gloves. So let's get started with the headwear. So first of all, I'm going to show you the roomy balaclava, which I showed in my last video because I had recently finished it. I'll be mentioning all the designer names on the screen as well as in the description. So this is a free pattern, and all of the patterns to come are also free unless I say otherwise. And so yeah, and I'm also starting with the easiest to knit and then going to the harder knits, and they're only harder because they use thinner yarn. So this one is made of a bulky weight yarn, but it uses 5.5mm needles, so the so that the stitches are quite dense. My one, I used a 5mm needle, and the next one I'm gonna make, which will be for a Christmas gift, I will probably use a 5.5 because it's not as roomy as it's meant to be. Yeah, I really recommend this pattern. It took me one day. You start with knitting like a square for the top, and then you pick up stitches from all three sides so that you start knitting as like a semicircle all the way down here until you start decreasing. You cast on stitches here, and then the last step is to make like the ribbed frame. I think there's two different ways you can make it. I think there's a double button band, or you can just do a 1x1 rib stitch. So yeah, I really love that this is a free pattern, and you should definitely make it because I used Drops Melody, and the shades I'm gonna take this off. The shades that they have for Drops Melody are so unique, and I really love their colors. So I'm planning on buying like a red color from there so that I can make a red one for a gift knit. The next headwear pattern idea is the ribbed beanie by Emily. She used DK weight yarn, which is I think the most accessible yarn. Most people have that in their stash, and it's just a simple beanie with, I think, knit to purl to rib, so that it's quite classic. And I think they only have one size included, so you don't really have to measure the person who you're giving to. Like, you don't have to measure their head because it's a one size pattern, and it's quite simple. I think there's shaping for the crown, so it doesn't look too messy. Like, it's not all bunched up at the top of the beanie, and it's a free pattern. The next pattern idea is the Blin beanie, and it's a colorwork beanie using a main color that is plain, and then the contrast color is either variegated ombre or self-striping. So it creates like a lot of definition while also having an intricate colorwork pattern. And this pattern uses fingering weight yarn, so it will take longer than the other one, but you can try out so many different color combinations, and maybe like a Christmassy theme, like with the reds and greens. That might be a cute idea. The last hat is the Alpine Bloom hat, and this is a paid pattern, probably because they provide 3 sizes, size variations. So I think they have a child size, an adult small, and then an adult large. This one has sport weight requirements, and yeah, 2 different colors, just like the previous one. This one, in the product images, I think they use the plain colors rather than ombre or self-striping, but you could still try that out for this one. I think this one is a lot more popular. You might have heard of it because of I think the alpine sweater is quite popular, and if you like that, or if you have that, you might want to make a matching one, so that's a good idea, I think. The last headwear piece is the Norwegian Rose headband by Kristin, and this is a finger and weight pattern. The product images really enticed me because they used white and red, which is very like festive, and also the colorwork design is really pretty. So, and you could make any color just like the other ones. I think I will make this one because it seems like it will take probably just a day to cast on and finish. And this is also a one size pattern, so you won't have to do any measuring, which is always good. So next we'll move on to neckwear, and 2 of these I have in physical form. Well, not really, but anyways, I'll start with the first one. So this one was also in my last video. This is the Home Again cowl, and this one uses DK weight yarn. It took me a day to knit, and as you can see, it's a very basic colorwork pattern, and I don't remember the exact number in the chart, but it is quite small. I think it is very doable for beginners just like myself, and I'm definitely knitting another one for a gift knit. And the great thing about this is, even though it's a free pattern, they include 3 different size variations. So by that I mean how long you want the cowl to be. This is just the small because I only used 1 chart, but you could, I think they provide more information on how to make it longer. And not only is it like a double chart, they do like a half, 1.5, and then I think it is a double chart. And the colors you can use for this are endless. I'm still thinking about what colors I want to make for the next one, but I might keep it like black and white to keep it quite classic, or maybe try out some of my colorful stash yarn. I don't know yet, but this is definitely a pattern I would recommend. It took me, I think, maybe 6 hours to finish, and I am like the average. I knit at the average speed, so if you're a quicker knitter, you might finish it faster than me. This one includes 2x2 ribbon at the top and the bottom, which makes it quite stretchy to put over the head. And one thing I'll say is I don't recommend using like a stiff cotton yarn, which I did for the main color. The next neckwear piece is the Triangle Garter Wrap by Pearl Soho. This one I'm currently knitting actually with 2 skeins at the same time. This is the Triangle Garter Wrap by Pearl Soho. I really love the texture of this so far, and I'm actually knitting this for myself, but it would be such a lovely gift knit because you can use like wool yarn, and it's not really a design that you see in most shops that are readily available, even though it is just a large triangle. I only started this yesterday, and I think it will take me a week or maybe 2 weeks. This is definitely like, yeah, the scarves I'm gonna mention, so this one and the one I'm following this, they are gonna take probably a week or 2, but there is still a month, a bit more than a month, I think 4 weeks or 5 weeks until Christmas, so I think you could definitely fit that in your plans. I just love this red color so much, And the yarn I'm using for this is Papaya Angora yarn, and it is advertised as a DK, but it's not really a DK, which is why I had to hold it together to meet gauge. And yeah, it's so cute. I can't wait to have the finished product. And I think making that in like a nice neutral color would definitely be a great gift to give. The last neckwear pattern is the Berlin scarf, and this is a very popular pattern right now. I think the design itself is quite popular too, because it's, I mean, I've seen it in Primark and H&M, like they have it in most shops, but this is a great pattern because it uses bulky weight yarn, and that means that it will probably be quick to finish. This is a paid pattern though, and it is quite cheap for a pattern, but the reason why this was the last one to mention is that this isn't a scarf that you can't buy. Like the ones I've mentioned so far, I've never seen them in the shop, but this one, I mean, you've probably seen it in most shops. I even own some, so yeah, but if you like it, you might want to make it. Okay, so the next section will be legwear and socks, and of course I have to mention the vanilla socks. I personally use the 9-inch circular needles to knit them, and I've made 2 pairs this far, but I have yarn to make another 2 pairs, I think, because I have 2 skeins of Fable salt and pepper yarn. This is a simple pattern. If you haven't heard of it, I would definitely recommend buying this pattern. The variations are endless, like you can add your own design while knitting it. They're very classic, like, and they're made to measure basically. You knit up to the heel, and then when you're making the length of the foot, you just you can measure it against your own foot, or use like a ruler to get like the person's foot size correct. I mean, this will only take maybe a couple days, up to a week maximum, to knit a pair of socks, and I think everyone likes to get socks as a gift. So the 2 other patterns I have are cat related, and the first one is Kitty Cuff Socks by Anne. This one also uses fingering weight yarn, just like I think most socks do. Recently I've been seeing more DK weight socks though, so that's fair. This is a free pattern, and it includes like a little, it's basically the same construction as the vanilla socks, but it includes a cat motif underneath the ribbed portion of the sock, and it seems really easy. That's probably why it's a free pattern. And you could make the color of the cat the color of the person's cat who you're gifting it to, which I think would be really personal, and I'm sure they would love to receive these. I would love to receive these. The second cat sock pattern is in German, and it's published only in a German sock book, but just looking at this image, you could replicate it yourself, because I think the image of the cats is quite popular, and you could chart it up against the vanilla sock. The reason I wanted to mention this is because underneath the foot, they included a paw print, which I think is so cute, and yeah, I've never seen anything like that before. So yeah, those are the socks. As for leg warmers, I recently made a pair using the classic leg warmers pattern by Cynthia. This is a free pattern, and I really love knitting these up because they're so easy. She just mentions the cast on amount and the centimeters between each section, and other than that, you can completely take control of like how you want it to look. You could even add like a color work design to these. I used self-striping yarn, and I really love these colors. I will definitely buy more of this yarn because it is, I think, 60% wool, and they're really affordable. Yeah, 60% wool, 40% acrylic. It's Yarn Art Harmony, and I know some people might not like that they're two different colors, but I really love that. And the tones of the sock, the leg warmer itself is so cute. Each leg warmer will take you a day, so this is a 2-day project maximum. That's like if you're really not doing it in like one complete sitting. I'm sure if you have the time you could do it in one sitting, but if you don't, this will take a couple days. Maybe over the weekend you can make those. So the last category is hand warmers and gloves. You could honestly mimic the same leg warmers, but I'll be talking about the packer mittens that I finally finished after showing them in the last video. These are really cute. I think I'm going to put them on, even though my hands are bigger than what they're knitted to. These are knitted in a size small, and I can't believe this is a free pattern because they are so cute, and the pattern itself is written so well. So yeah, this is the packer mittens. You use 2 sport weight yarns, and they knit up really quickly. Total, these took me a day each to knit up. And the thumb, this is my first time knitting a thumb for anything, and it was much quicker than I thought because it was literally, I think, 5 rows you do when you start making the thumb. Can't wait to gift these for Christmas, and I don't know what else to say. Like, I definitely want to make another pair. I think I might make it in the alternating shades because I have yarn left over. I was so surprised to find out that I only took up, I mean, you can see my stitches are quite dense, and I knitted a size small, but I can tell you the exact yarn I used. I mean the grams. So I used, yeah, so each one used up 19 grams for the main color and then 4 grams for the contrast color, which is crazy. So using 250-gram balls, I was able to make 1 pair, and then I'll be able to make a second pair using the white contrast color as the main color for the next one, which I think will make a really cute set. This is the gift knit I've been most excited for, and yeah, I really can't wait to start the next one. I think while I'm knitting the wrap, I want to start a new garment, but I think after that garment or after this wrap, I will be making the second pair. The next pattern is very similar to the workup of a sock. It's the Pioneer Gloves by Kelly, and it uses fingering weight yarn. The design for these looks really clean, and it's 2x2 ribbing, I think. It looks like 3 knit stitches and 2 purl stitch, or 1 purl stitch. But anyways, this is a free pattern. I'm gonna make these using some sock yarn I have. And sorry, I forgot to mention, but I think the pack of gloves is either in a small or large, and these Pioneer gloves come in 3 sizes. So I think small, medium, large, and then in length, long and short. When I make them, I'll probably make them in a medium short or small short because my tension is quite loose when I'm knitting. This is a very popular pattern. It has over 4,000 projects, so it must be I mean, that is a good sign for it being a good pattern, and yeah, I would definitely recommend making these. The next mittens or gloves, mittens, yeah, they're similar to the past 2, but this one has like lace work on the cuffs and on the hem of the glove. It has almost 8,000 project reviews, and I've had this on my to knit list for like since I opened a Ravelry page. This one uses DK weight yarn, so it will be faster than knitting the other gloves. So it probably will take one day or a day or two, and they're longer. I don't think they come in short sizes, but they do come in, they don't come in like length sizes, but they come in width. So there's a small, medium and large available, and it's a simple design until you get to the cuff, and it looks like scallop edge on the top and the bottom, which I've never tried before but in knitting, but I have in crochet, so it might be quite easy to do. I can imagine how you would probably make it, and it's quite simple. So these are Susie Rogers reading mitts, and for her first product image it looks like she used mohair yarn, and they look really like fluffy and I mean expensive, so maybe that's a good way to make these gloves, especially because it has lace work. It will look more delicate, like I think like the pattern intends for it to look. So yeah, and the last free glove mitten pattern it's in Swedish, but I think you could understand what it says. Okay, wait. So I downloaded this pattern, and even though it's in Swedish, it does, like, it's easy to understand what they're trying to say. And this is a free pattern, so you don't have to like buy a pattern in a language you don't know. You can just try it out for yourself. And because it uses bulky weight yarn, it'll be super quick. It has 3 sizes available, and it uses a 5mm needle, which is the largest needle for gloves that we've seen this far in the patterns I've mentioned. So yeah, I would definitely try that out. And I really love the contrast stitches around the wrist of the glove, because it's in a red. I really love the red and white combination, and I've noticed that a lot of Nordic patterns include that color combinations. Those are all the glove patterns. Now at the end I'm gonna mention some project bags or some gift, like you can transform them into gift bags. So I was thinking, I had this idea, so a gift and a gift. So you could knit one of the things I've mentioned so far and then give it to the person in a bag that they can keep for themselves. It does sound like a lot of knitting, and it definitely will be, but if you are able to knit this in the amount of time, or if you have someone special who you want to make this for, who you think will actually appreciate the amount of effort you put into your knitting, then I think you should definitely try and give this a go. So the first bag is the 0603 project bag. This is a free pattern, and it uses worsted weight yarn. They used 2 fingering weight yarns together, but I mean, if you have scrap yarn, I would definitely recommend using that. And I'll show you, because I have mimicked, there's a mimicked pattern for the one I just mentioned in a crochet version, and it's called a crocheted project bag. This one uses DK, which is a similar, it has a similar gauge, and I can show you my one. The knitted one and this one's construction seems similar, and it's, you do the base and then you for the knitted one you make the base and then you pick up stitches around it and then you knit up. This one you crochet like a coaster and then you keep going, you don't chain, so it creates like a swirl pattern because you do it in the back loop as well only. And I think it's really cute. I use scrap yarn, and it has drawstrings as well like the other one. And if you have the time, I would recommend making this, because I mean, I made mine this year and it still looks new, and I'm able to keep a lot of stuff in this. Normally I keep my project bags, but I'm sure people who don't knit can keep anything in this, and I'm sure, and there's other sizes you can make, like it's up to you when you want to stop knitting. So or crocheting. But yeah, I think that would be really sweet, and you could do it in scrap yarn or Christmas colors, or in a colorway that would match the main product, like the main knitted garment or knitted accessory that you're making for them. So yeah, I think that's really cute. The next pattern is a bit more intricate because it includes cables, but if you're comfortable with knitting cables, I would recommend the Patron Cozy. I think I'm saying that wrong, but it uses a 3mm needle, which is quite daunting for someone who hasn't knitted cables before. And this is a paid pattern, so if you're able, or if you're willing to create this for someone, I think that would be really sweet. It looks the product images alone, they really entice me because it gives very like fantasy vibes and like book reader kind of vibes. It only has 3 projects, so I can't really see, I don't know if it's a good pattern, but I would definitely give it a go. And if it's not for a gift, you might just want to knit this as the main gift for someone or for yourself. I would definitely try this out. Okay, the last one, which seems like the easiest gift bag or product to give someone, and it's the scrap yarn basket. You've probably seen over the years that a lot of scrappy stuff is being sold. Like I've seen bathroom rugs sold in a similar texture, and this one holds 4 DK yarns together to create like this multicolored effect. It's the scrap yarn basket by Cynthia, and I think the leg warmers and this pattern are from the same designer. And if the leg warmers are anything to go off, the patterns are very well written. So this uses 9mm needles, and I forgot to mention this is a crochet project. Even though this is a crochet project, the workup is just the same as this, where it's continuous. You just have to do single crochets, and that's it. You just have to do single crochets. And so I've seen the designer itself show this product, show her pattern being used as like a plant pot holder, or as a handheld bag, or just as a basket to keep things in. And you could keep your gifts in there when you're gifting it to someone, or you can give the person a plant with this basket as the plant pot. Or I mean, the ideas are endless, and if you have scrap yarn, it seems like a cost-effective gift to give someone. It is a chunky weight pattern, so it shouldn't take that long. I did want to mention one more pattern, and this is the Hottie sweater. It's a hot water bottle cover, and it uses boucle yarn, and it's also a chunky pattern, so you could use I've seen a lot of people use the the Drops boucle yarn. I think it's called, wait, let me check real quick. I think it's called, yeah, it's called the alpaca boucle by Drops. And I mean, if you're giving it, I think I would give this to like a grandma. My grandma's really who uses hot water bottles all the time. Someone who gets cold often. I mean, it's a great pattern. You could also buy the hot water bottle to put inside of it. So yeah, those are all the patterns I have to share with you today. I hope you appreciate that. I think I made sure that most of them would be free patterns, and if any are paid, then they are definitely guaranteed to be a good pattern, I think, based on feedback from people who have made it before. And I probably should have mentioned that I have made a basket like this before. I use macrame yarn, and I'm actually keeping all my gift knits in here, as you can see. And I mean, something even as simple as this is my own pattern. It's free-handed, and I mean, how cute is that? Crocheting is definitely easy when you're just doing single crochet, and you should definitely try it out if you liked any of the crochet patterns I've mentioned. Yeah, okay, thank you for watching, and in the next video I'll be showing more patterns, but this time for sweaters. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.